I was writing some stuff down and listening to things, and I noticed, I kind of realized something that discipline is not something that you like to do. So, discipline comes from doing things that you don't like to do, that you don't want to do, but that you have to do. So, don't think that don't fool yourself on thinking, oh, I'm disciplined because I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, but I have to be to work. Don't be thinking that you're disciplined because I go to the gym every single day when you want to go to the gym. If you're somebody that struggles to go to the gym and you force yourself to go and you make 90% of it happen, then yeah, that becomes discipline. You're still failing at 10%, but that is discipline. Doing things that you have to do, not things that you know, feel like you have to do or don't have to do. Discipline comes from doing things that are hard, that are difficult, that you don't want to do, that you should be doing, as a man. So, or even a woman. So, don't be careful on how detailed you can get with yourself on your lies. You can really, really trick yourself into thinking certain things and create this, kind of facade. So this challenge is really opening up a lot of, a lot of, you know, views on things that I thought that I was really good at, or things that, you know, I thought I could do or make happen or something like that. Um, and it was things that I want to do. So this challenge is to push yourself harder, to step outside of your comfort zone, and that is creating that discipline. That's creating that drive, and I think it's really, really easy to lie to yourself, and it's pretty wild how much you can trick yourself into thinking certain things. So kind of keep that in mind when you're working through these challenges and working on yourself, because self development is by far one of the most difficult things to do, and most people don't do it. Most people never work on themselves. And if you are working on yourself and you are constantly trying to improve things that are, you know, not going the way you want them to go in your life, um, then yeah, kudos to you. Yesterday I did have a talk with one of my guys, and he's awesome. He's got great integrity. He cares about every job he steps onto, and I believe that comes from within. I don't think that integrity is something that's taught. I think that comes from within. Now you can get better at your integrity as time goes on, and realize things and have more integrity on things that you work on. But yesterday I was talking to him because he seems like he's going through a rough patch in his life, and he said something to me that kind of hit home. And I was like, what he said was, yeah, I get into my own head and it's just the person I am. And I told him, I'm like, I got into my head this past weekend, but I knew that I was in my head, and I worked on making sure that I was not going to dive deep into those thoughts and end up in that spiral. And we all know what that feels like. We all know what that is. And he kept saying, like, that's just who I am. But you can change that kind of perception of yourself. You can change those feelings, and you can tell yourself over time, over practice, over repetition, that it's like, hey, you know what? I keep falling into these thoughts, and then come Monday, for example, everything is fine. Like, we'll use a poor example here, but like all weekend long, let's say you fucked up on Friday at work, and you're like, oh my God, I'm definitely getting fired. Oh my God. And you end up in this like horrible like mindset all weekend long, and you're working yourself up, and you get to the point that it's like it comes into Sunday, and you got the Sunday scaries at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and you sleep like crap because you just got yourself so worked up over one mistake that you made, you know, and you get to work, and it's like your boss calls you in. It's like, hey man, yeah, you screwed up on Friday. Let's just clean it up and make it all good, and let's make it right. We've all had those times where those things come into play, and I had something similar like that happen. I mean, I own my own company, but it was along different lines, but something similar, that I had myself all worked up all weekend, and I wasn't sleeping right and all of that, all to come Monday, and everything was totally fine. So be careful on the lies that you tell yourself. Be careful on those things, because most of them are not real. And then be careful on the lies that you tell yourself of like, oh, that's just the type of person I am, or that's how I am, or that's how my mind works, because you can change those things. You can work on yourself. You can work on your self-discipline. You can work on your mental health. You can work on your physical health. You can change those things. If you're fat, you can lose weight. If you're skinny and you want to put on weight, you can eat more, and you can do those things. You can get into the gym. You can do these things. But again, the whole point of this challenge is repetition is the key to success. So doing something over and over and over again until it becomes second nature, till it becomes habit, then that's where the real success comes in. So day 3 of this challenge, and yeah, I've already fought tons of battles. I come home and I'm totally wiped out, and I haven't even done my evening routine that's on my calendar. So I've accomplished, 85, 90, 95% of my goal throughout the day, 85, 90% of the goal throughout the day, but I'm still failing this at night, but I'm still modifying this. I'm only day 3 into this. So you keep going, keep making those modifications, keep changing those little things each day. And you'll see at the end of this month that everything that I'm doing is truthfully going to make that end result significantly better. I'm hoping to be, nothing's going to be 100%, but I'm hoping to be at that 98 percentile where I am rocking this calendar, and that I'm enjoying it, and that I'm executing it, and I'm doing things that make me feel proud of myself, which in turn will make you feel happy. Keeping promises to yourself is something that we never really do. We tell ourselves we're going to do something, and then we don't, and that's where we lose confidence in ourselves. So be careful on doing that. The most important person that you should be keeping your promises to are yourself. Don't let yourself down, and work on it, and work on yourself, and you can make those changes. It's not just, this is who I am, this is how I am, this is where way my mind thinks. This is your job here on earth, is to make these changes, make these modifications, learn from where your faults are at, and work on those things. And the things that you're strong at, I can embrace those things, love those things. Hey, right on, kudos, I'm really good at this. I can, stand on my head and fucking do circles, and it's effortless to me. But for some reason, I can't stand on one foot and spin around in a circle. So I need to practice standing on one foot and spinning around in a circle. I need to practice on not getting worked up on something. Into the gym a little later than I thought. I was thinking this morning, I don't know, that I had more time, but clearly I did not have more time. But it's 5:13, and I actually got in here 3 minutes ago. But yesterday was chest, and I did a good amount of my workout, but I didn't do shoulders, and I didn't do cable reverse flies. So I'm going to finish off these 3 sets. I'm going to get a good shoulder workout in, and just finish off this workout, get a good cardio, and that's going to be it. This is real life shit right here. This is what happens when you own your own company. You're in the gym, working out, 5:30 in the morning. We're actually stretching out, and I haven't even worked out. and realized that we didn't do something yesterday on yesterday's schedule for one of our technicians. And yeah, fucking life gets in the way. You got to pause for a second and take care of moving over some routing in our world, and then it's back to the gym. We were doing a stretch and Lex was like, hey, were we supposed to do something? And didn't get done yesterday. And that's what I was talking about. Tuesdays are they're just meant for everything else. They're not meant for my schedule. They're meant for the meetings. They're meant for just all the attention to everybody else. And moving forward, that's going to be the focus for Tuesdays. Finally on my way to work. 100% on time. It's 8:26, so executing this morning pretty well. I am very pleased about that. Woke up on time. Very pleased about that. Very proud. Knocked out the rest of yesterday's workout that I didn't get the chance to finish because it was Tuesday and it was crazy. Little tired, little fatigued from all the harder workouts, and instead of going for a run, I ran for the last 5 consecutive days. Lexi and I did just under 2.5 mile little walk. Awesome morning so far. I'm actually super excited to get into work. I've got a lot of bids to do. I've got a lot of marketing to do, and I'm eager to get into the office and knock this out. I didn't get the opportunity to do that yesterday because yesterday I ended up realizing that, dude, it's not my day. Tuesday is not my day. So do this in your world. Figure out what days you can fully maximize those, potential of what you're doing to make money, your fitness goals, whatever it is. And on those other days, give what you need to give to the people that you need to give it to. And on the days that are yours, take control over those days. And today is that day. Everybody is scheduled for their work. Work is starting to flood in. I'm going to get into this office, and the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be answering questions, returning emails, and working on bids. And we're going to knock the shit out of this out. And then I'm going to jump right into marketing and see if I can double down on marketing and play a little catch up here. Put an extreme amount of focus into, I don't want to say catching up or play catching up, but yesterday was that learning curve. So now I know that Tuesdays is going to be organized a hell of a lot different, and I'm going to maximize my Mondays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Lexi's out of the office on Fridays. I typically will sometime take Fridays off, and I want to do more. I want to work more. I want to make more money. So that's going to require me to be in the office a little bit more. But on the flip side, I also want to work on all the other things. I want to work on my channel with you guys. I want to work on my editing. I want to work on my fitness. So again, trying to figure out and trying to put in place what takes the most and the top priority in your life, in your goals. And right now, and I haven't figured out which takes more priority, whether it's finances or, well, it's finances first, and then it's fitness after that. So I guess my ass is going into work on Fridays, or at least most Fridays. We are coming into the holidays. We are doing Thanksgiving early this year. So not this Friday, but the following Friday, I am going to have an early Thanksgiving with the family. And then actually Thanksgiving week, starting on Thursday, I am remodeling our kitchen, and I'm going to time lapse that. And again, I know I've said it 1,000 times, but I am fucking ecstatic about knocking out this kitchen. So almost to the office, gonna listen to my book a little bit, and it's a beautiful cloudy overcast day that we never get here in the desert.
We got like 355 fucking days of sunshine, so it's nice to have a little bit of a gloomy day. I'm high energy. I didn't crush it in the gym, so a little bit of conserving energy when I was already kind of like tired. Did some extra stretching, did some workout, and was able to just get the blood pumping, and it is flowing. And yeah, I'm about to knock this shit out, so we'll see. You'll see how much I do, how much I can conquer, and let's fucking get after today. See you soon. We are almost putting an end to day 3 of this challenge. It is Wednesday. Had to leave work early. It's 4:25, and getting taken to dinner because Lexi and I got married last week, or actually the week before, and her parents are taking us out to dinner and getting us a gift. But I wanted to do this quick little update right here. I'm shocked. It is absolutely working. Having a tight schedule, knowing exactly what you need to do at what times that you need to do it. I got my marketing done today. Would have liked to do a little bit more, but that's okay, because instead we knocked out a ton of more proposals. More proposals means more chance of gaining jobs. The more proposals you pump out, it's one more opportunity. And Alex Harmonzi says this all the time. He's my road dog. One of these days, I'm going to shake that man's hand. And he says that you gotta, luck is kind of like constantly putting in. At some point, the more you put in, the more you put in, luck becomes inevitable. And I'm only day 3 on like putting as much focus as I possibly can and taking as much focus away from things that would typically do it, like social media, that kind of stuff. But it's only day 3 of this challenge. Monday was good. Tuesday, I learned something yesterday, that Tuesdays with company meeting and all that, it's just not in the fucking cards. Wednesday, I told myself today I was going to make sure to be on track. I didn't have company meetings. I didn't have any of that. I did need to go buy a pool to finish off doing some photos and stuff like that, but I got to get to this. I got to grab a cigar because I got to have a cigar tonight with dinner, and we're going to dinner for our wedding thing. And these are things that you have to make time for. You have to do these things. It is important. And you have to work your ass off just as much too. But I talked about this before. It's just as important to have family time and all of that. And sure, you can say no to certain things, but certain things you cannot. All right. And this is one of those things. I am happily married today. This little honeymoon phase doesn't last forever. And I'm going to go to this. And I'm excited to go to it. And Lexi's excited to go to it. But Wednesday was a total crush. It was a total kill. And it feels so fucking good. Get in here? Yeah. It feels so fucking good to annihilate another day of bids, proposals, and then executing fucking my text messages, which I got more response back from my text messages today than I did on Monday. It was a little like, man, people were like almost kicking my ass for sending out these messages, and today I got better response for it, and I still have like over 1,000 text messages to send out. So 100% a win. I feel epically proud, which makes me feel happy, and that is the goal. Do things that make you proud, and in turn you will be happy. And I gotta say, I feel fucking great. And tomorrow morning when I get into the office, I got a ton of more bids to do. Pump out those fucking bids, because those jobs will come in. It's about creating your luck. And I am going to 100% create my own luck. I'm going to fucking put everything I got into this and show you guys that it's possible. And I'm going to show it to myself just as much as you. I've created a decent amount of success for myself, but not the level that I want to be at. There's a whole nother level that I want to step up to, and it's going to require me fucking busting my ass and doing more than I've ever done before at 42 and a half years old. Tomorrow, we're going to get after it. Tonight, I'll do some work. I'll do some editing, and we got Thursday to fucking rock. Here we go.